Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ask Grit, episode number 52. We have been doing this almost every week. Now we tend to do it fortnight because things have been a bit crazy out here. Today we have a special guest. We have Simone from Hermitage Homes. Welcome, Simone.
Hello, how are you?
Very good, very good. So as we discussed, Simone, we do this every fortnight or every week to discuss about property investment matters and variety of things. So this week we thought of talking about construction industry because that has been the talk of the town last couple of weeks, so that you can add some value to the audience. We typically get variety of questions from the viewers and the audience and the investors. And this week we were just focusing on construction. One of the question was builders are going bust due to construction cost prices, and what can the buyers do to overcome such an incident as an investor? So any advice which you can give or share?
Yeah, sure. Look, I think the best thing to do is just do your research. Do some research on the builder you're looking at going with. And you can do that by looking at, Google reviews, any online reviews. Definitely review the build contract and take it to your conveyancer or solicitor. And speak to even like family and friends to see if they've built with them and just see what their experience was like. Another good one is going on like Facebook discussion pages and things like that, just reading up on them and just get a bit more information. Definitely research is the best way to go.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, media can say anything and they are to do their job. So, but it has to, you as an investor, you got to be to doing your own research and do your own due diligence. So
exactly.
Why do you think the construction cost is it's rising pretty much every month, and do you think this will stabilize as we move along?
Look, the construction costs, it all started with the home builder grants. They were great, but they did exceed expectations in the new home market across all builders, and all builders have had record-breaking numbers. There's currently not enough supply or labour to keep up with this demand. Therefore, the prices have gone up for supply and labour. This is causing on-site delays. Unfortunately, there is no end in sight, this current state, but it could last for another 12 months or so before stabilising.
Yeah.
I would suggest, if you are looking at getting your foot in the door or, getting an investment property, now would be the best time, just knowing interest rates are going up. We are still finding there are, delays. So build prices can go up even more. So now would be the best time to get your foot in the door.
Right. I mean, it's, again, that's something which you cannot control of. There are few things which you can control and there are certain things which you can't. And as a builder, you cannot control that either.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so high and there's no other option but to increase the prices.
Well, we're just following suit. As soon as they put their prices up, we have to do the same.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as an investor, I mean, there will be cost rises, but if you can lock in a building contract as soon as you can, then that is the best way to go with the current market.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We have another one about the timelines. I mean, typically we are looking at 5 to 6 months in terms of construction time frame. Should we be looking at about 7 to 8 months or more for the construction of a house right now, is the question.
Yeah, look, it really does differ. Everyone needs to expect delays. There will be delays, unfortunately. It really just depends on the area, on the supplier and trades in those areas. And it does differ from time to time. So it's not one specific area that is better than the other. It is unknown territory at this point because it is constantly changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the supply and labour can be very temperamental in certain locations and months of the year. So I think it's just, if you expect it, if you know that it's going to happen, there will be delays, then there's no disappointment there. It's just the current market that we're in at the moment.
That's right. I mean, it really depends on the suburb you're building. It depends on the trades and supplies over there. And
Yeah.
from investors' point of view, budget and time it accordingly. You got to budget few months ahead than the normal time, because it's a bit of a crazy time right now in the construction industry.
Yeah, definitely.
The next question is, what advantages would an investor have by going for a fixed price turnkey package?
Yeah, look, honestly, I think personally turnkey is the best option for all investors. You know what you're paying from the get-go. You get the price upfront, obviously includes everything, landscaping and fencing, which a lot of retail builders don't include. So you know what you're getting straight up. It's obviously easy to get finance that way as well. And any extra costs later on down the track, if it was missed by Hermitage, for instance, being a wholesale builder, we wear those costs. So if we didn't factor in that there was rock in that area of that location, we wear that cost. We missed it. We don't give that to the client to pay. A lot of retail builders, especially in the current climate, have been slapping their clients with a variation cost of like 20K more to continue on with the build, whereas we don't do that. We wear it, and yeah, that's the best.
That's so important. I mean, especially as an investor, it's not like your own home. This is an investment. Every single dollar you put in, you expect a return.
Exactly.
The cost escalation can be quite bad, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience as an investor. So going in for fixed price turnkey is vital. At the same time, I mean, say for example, you can get your landscaping and fencing done from your friends or family, whatnot, but you're paying that money out of your pocket. Again, you got to remember, this is an investment. When you can get a loan and put everything onto the loan, why would you pay out of your pocket? So
yeah, and on top of that, I mean, if this is an investment, you want to tenant it out straight away. So if you're going to a retail builder and you hand over, you still have to organize the landscaping and fencing. So that can take time. That can take weeks, months waiting, that you're missing out on rent while you're waiting for those things to be organized. Our contracts are also 12 months fixed price, or the expected title date, whichever is greater. So if it's titling in the end of 2024, that price is locked in until then. So you're safe, you're secure until then.
Yeah. Excellent. Another question, is the building contract always subject to finance when you pay the 5%? If you sign a contract, title date is 12 months away, something goes wrong with finance, is that subject to finance, is the question.
Yeah, so for a standard HIA contract, yes, these are subject to finance. Banks won't give finance approval without a signed, executed contract. So it is subject to finance until obviously you get your finance once the contract has been executed.
Correct. Yeah. There you go. That's the answer. We have heard about lack of supplies in the building material. What exact building material is lacking right now, and what supplies are builders struggling with?
Yeah, look, it has changed a fair bit over the last 2 and a bit years that we've been, experiencing this. So it's mainly timber, steel, and windows. And this is across the board for all builders. So it's an industry-wide thing, no matter where you're located. We're all finding where we're coming across the same supply issues at the same time. These are also major labour shortages as well. So not only are the supplies shortage, but the labour shortage. So yeah, and it's across all trades. So and at the moment, we're pretty good with timber and steel. It's really just windows that we're finding is a bit of a delay. What would normally be, a couple of weeks is taking a couple of months. So yeah, our purchasing officer, and I'm sure a lot of other builders' purchasing officer work hard to constantly swap and change your supplier and trades to get the best deal and to, obviously get them on time. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, it changes all the time. I mean, it used to be timber and trusses were the delays, and now it's windows. And there used to be a time where the garage doors were missing in action. So it's all about timing.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one, my builder has gone into administration. How can I get started with a new builder?
Yeah, sure. So it really depends on if, if any work's been done on their site, on their lot, or if, so the best way to go about it, if there has been work done on their lot, you may be able to claim against a domestic building insurance policy. So if your builder becomes bankrupt or goes into liquidation, you'll be able to go onto the Consumer Affairs Victoria website, or even give them a call, and they'll be able to give you information about what to do in that situation. But majority of the time, it is covered by insurance.
Yeah.
So it's more of an inconvenience and a delay. But majority of builders, well-known business builders, are covered. The best case scenario is if your job hasn't gone to site, and it's a blank canvas, then you can just go get another quote elsewhere. Just make sure the builder that you're with does, if they've already applied for a building permit, just needs to be cancelled on their behalf, and then you can get a quote elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean, each builder has to have insurance to start a job. So as long as you have signed a contract, even if you have paid a 5% deposit, if something happens like that, again, you can claim it through the insurance. Because there is a very, very stringent, streamlined process there. So do not worry, and feel free to reach us out if you need any advice. That's all the questions we had, Simone. Let's see online if we have anything live to answer. Yeah, there's one. I have a block of land in Fraser Rise. I haven't signed a building contract as yet. I was hoping the building cost will go down next year. Do you think that's going to happen?
Even in a non-COVID environment, even if it was pre-COVID, prices go up every year. I know retail builders, their prices go up every 3 to 6 months. Us at Hermitage, we go up every 12 months. So it's always going to go up. Pricing always goes up. It's just going up more dramatically in this current environment.
Inflation is up by 5%, my friend. So don't delay, sign a contract.
Yeah, never delay.
All right, Simone, that's all we had. Thank you so much for joining in.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.